Y'all know what time it is. We are back and better than ever. You know what it is? It's trash time, baby. I'm your host, Dante, along with my old head partners. What it do? Greg C. Back in the building. What's up, bro?
You know who it is. It's your boy holding it down in the basement. No excuses. Play like a champion. Play like a champion.
And that other old head, JW. What it do, bro?
What's happening? We're a little grizzled. We're just a
Hey,
tad.
you already know, bro. You already know.
A tad bit grizzled, but we
been a long week, bro. Been a long week.
We'll represent shave August. No shave August, baby.
We'll represent the mountains of Utah for a minute. You know what I'm saying? Hey. Mountain men over here, but
hey, yeah, I was a little bit busy on Friday, bro. Didn't have a chance to get
oh boy, were you? Boy, were you? But you know what it is. You know, why play like a champion when you could be a champion? You see, I'm surrounded by champions, the GOAT. You know what I'm saying? The championship GOATs right there. You know, them boys right there. That loves over there.
And the clowns.
You know what I'm saying?
And the clowns.
Surrounded
the clown
by
show.
Surrounded
the
by
clown show is about to begin.
You know, Utah kept running into this dude. You know what I'm saying? But it's all good. It's all good.
Hey,
we here.
Let's go any further. For the fans out there, do not forget to hit that like and subscribe button. YouTube, Trash Talking with the Old Heads. Facebook, smash that button as well. You can always join.
My shit.
It's free.
Join us on the Facebook.
My shit don't cost you a thing.
It's free.
Thing, because we on our way.
Now, when we get there, hey, we got to make a little bread. So when we gonna get there. Trust and believe.
We will get there. You know what I'm saying?
We getting there.
We get there.
There go.
This is straight from a fan's perspective. We not writers, none of that. We not ex-athletes as far as professional athletes, that is. Hey, we some brothers who love talking sports, and that's what we do. But we here to continue the series, fellas. You know what time it is. You know who it is this week. We're on number 5 on the count. Number four. Number four.
He lost his mind. Lost his mind out there.
Hey, man, I just had a colonoscopy, bro. You got it.
He got to get his mind right.
Tell the people what we're doing before we introduce number 4. Tell the people what we're doing. Soldier Boy got to remind. Soldier Boy, I'm disappointed in you, sir.
Hold on, man.
Soldier Boy.
Soldier.
Hey.
No, Soldier.
Next time he mess up like that, swing that axe on his ass.
What we are doing, for those who don't know, we're doing a series on the top 12 programs in college football history since 1980.
1980.
1980.
1980.
So let's say why 1980? Because based on our age group, that's basically when we start giving a damn about college football. right around that time.
It was babies before then.
You know what I'm
saying? Was babies before then.
Exactly. Wasn't thinking about it before then. You know what I'm saying? That's when our memories start to form about football and who we cared about in football. So it's since 1980. So anybody pre-1980, they're not on the list. We'll shout them out, but they're not on the list. So now moving on to number 4. The Ohio State Buckeyes. This team, bro. First of all, let me ask either one of y'all know why they call them the Buckeyes?
Buckeyes.
The Buckeyes.
I don't know why they call them. I don't know why they call them the Buckeyes.
Well, Jerry might know.
No. I have no clue. I'm trying to get my eyes right up.
Man, me too. The fight is killing me. Hey, they're called the Buckeyes because of the Ohio Buckeye tree, basically. It's a native tree to the state. Produces a hard, shiny brown nut. Pause. but that's why they're called the Buckeye. I didn't know that either, you know what I'm saying, until I started looking up some stuff like, what the hell is a Buckeye? It's actually a tree, you know what I'm saying? So I did find that out. Of course, they play at an Ohio Stadium, which we know is called I know y'all know this one. Come on, fellas.
I don't know it. Let the people know.
Fellas, man, am checking for Ohio? I ain't checking for Ohio State.
I ain't do my homework on
the shoe, man. Y'all know that shit.
The shoe, yeah.
That's right.
Damn,
right.
We football fans now. Yeah, we not Ohio State fans, but damn, we know that, bro. Come on.
Yeah, it is. I forget, man.
Y'all know that, man.
I'm SEC, man.
Greg might know the song.
We know it's the horseshoe.
Greg might know the fight song, though. Greg might know their fight song.
Did you say fight song?
We did.
Drive down the field. got to win this game. Come on, Ohio, fast through to victory. We'll cheer you as you go. Our undefeated, so we fight for Ohio.
I love it, man. Destined to be cursed this year. I love
Cursed,
it.
because he been
Them
saying
boys saying every fight song.
I
love it. He gonna be sick when the season.
Go, Suckeyes, go.
He gonna be sick.
Of course, their stadium holds 102,780 fans. So, G, give us their bona fides, brother. Why are they number 4 on the list?
Why are they number 4?
Tell the people why, how we got the Buckeyes.
We are in the top tier of the college football greatest programs of all time. These 4 teams, these
Rudy
next
Poops
4
are done.
teams
are overrated.
Over.
They are the number 1 seed, or in the top 4 seed, and get a bye in the college football playoffs when we set this whole thing up. So pay attention, fans of college football, fans of these teams, so you can go vote who you think will win each round. All right, so we came up with a criteria. Again, I'm just want to go through what we came up with, the different requirements we had for the programs to be ranked and to get as high as they got. So we talked about having national championships. We talked about conference titles. We talked about Heisman Trophy winners. We talked about wins since 1980. We talked about players drafted since 1980 and the amount of weeks they spent at number 1 since 1980, the year of our Lord 1980. So when we talk about the Ohio State Buckeyes, 3 natties, they won those in 2002, 2014, and then last year, most recently, 2024, with Ryan Day finally bringing it home. We talk about 17 conference championships. That's second. For our top 12, they have the second most conference titles out of our top 12 programs. Huge. They got 2 Heisman Trophy winners, starting with Mr. Eddie George and Troy Smith. Eddie George in 96, Troy Smith in 2002. Then we have all-time wins since 1980, 414 victories. Players drafted in the NFL. Ohio State has the second most players drafted in the NFL since 1980 at 274, and you will see they have a very deep squad as we go through the roster. And the amount of weeks as the AP number 1, they had 46 wins as the AP number 1. Again, all of this since 1980. Fellas, tell me this, man. What are some of y'all fondest or some of y'all most painful memories of Ohio State? And what makes them a great, all-time great program, even beyond 1980? Most of these programs been great before 1980, but we just talking about 1980. So, let us know. Let the people know what you remember.
You can go ahead, JW.
Well, the first thing I think about with Ohio State, the first person I always think about is Eddie George. 6'3", 235 pounds, big boy. I remember his running style. He wasn't going out of bounds. And surprisingly for a big back, he had, decent hands. His all-purpose yardage was impressive to me. So that's the first person I kind of think about. I think about Trustle's longevity with the team, and then the trouble toward the end of his career. But Urban Meyer, once he took over, I was just surprised at how well he was able to maintain what the program was doing and get a title, which was impressive. After leaving my Gators, that's what kind of sticks out to me. That he was able to just keep the train rolling and stay atop the league, year after year with a chance to get more titles. That's what I think about.
He was, after he got ran up out the SEC by Nick Saban. That was my only Alabama mention well, my first Alabama mention
all
of
right.
the program.
Yeah.
All right.
Man, I know, don't get mad at me, Ohio State fans. It's all my memories of them is always questioning them and whether or not what I was looking at is real or just a figment of where they play. You know what I'm saying? And who they play. That's what I remember most.
Down south, baby. Hey,
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
We down south, baby.
It was always, I always remember they played, always had really, really good defense. And I always wondered, like, are they really playing anybody with speed? You know what I'm saying? So it was always, I always just remember about them questioning how good they really were and who they were really playing, especially early on, early 80s. You always kind of just questioned the early 90s, like, who they playing for real? You know what I'm saying? Those are my memories as a Southerner, as a Southern football fan of like, okay, is this team actually for real? And it kind of moved those into today, where I still find myself doing that. Less now that they've expanded to 900 teams and actually have some pretty good teams in the conference now, you know what I'm saying? But that's really my memory of them from the 80s, early 80s on, you know what I'm saying? Are they for real? Just thinking every year, are they for real? Is this defense for real? Have they really played anybody? So that's kind of how I looked at them, you know what I'm saying? Those are my memories of Ohio.
Also, one thing I like to add is when we talk about college football rivalries, I'm biased. I know y'all are biased. I'm always going to think about Alabama and Auburn first, even though I can't stand either one of those teams. And then I can go to Florida and Georgia and some other SEC matchups. But the Ohio State and Michigan rivalry, to me, is comparable to what we've seen for years and years down here. That's a real beef amongst college football teams, and it's probably one of the only ones that I respect outside of what we.
Yeah, I agree.
What we tend to.
I actually agree with that. I agree.
That's what I was going to go with it. I mean, definitely. Of course, everybody's going to be biased and say their teams are involved in the biggest rivalry. Of course, Bama Auburn definitely has that hatred kin to the game. Michigan, Ohio State. So just again, waking up in the morning, preparing all day for the Bama Auburn football game, the Iron Bowl. But you first get that first taste of that Ohio State and Michigan game, which is usually played at 11 a.m., 12 o'clock, wherever they play it, whether it's in Michigan or in Ohio, whether they're in Ann Arbor or Columbus. So yeah, just watching David Boston and Charles Woodson go at it. And, just watching some of they great players. They had a lot of great players, but of course, my fondest memory of Ohio State would be Sherman Williams running through their ass with Eddie George on the field. And then, of course,
the dude just say that
I said that was my first. I said that was gonna be my first.
My bad.
And then I'm gonna give Ohio State they props. They came back and they beat us in 2014 in the midst of Nick Saban's run. We got smashed. Well, we didn't get smashed, but we got beat. We got beat. They brought it to us. Ezekiel Elliott running down and hit that 75-yarder that kind of broke the game and broke our will. And then of course in 2020 when Devontae Smith ran roughshod over their ass in the championship game in 2020. So shout out to Ohio State and the Suckeye fans.
No doubt. But before we get to the team and start counting it down, let's give a shout out to some of the old players, some of the older generations of Ohio State players and coaches. You know what I'm saying? We can't forget about the past. You know what I'm saying? Even though this list is only from 1980 on, we can't leave Woody Hayes out. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know what I'm saying? Great historic coach. 1951 to 1978. I think he had 205 wins, 61 losses, 10 ties, 76% winning percentage, which is awesome. 3 natties, 54, 57, and 68. 13 Big Ten championships. Wasn't very good in bowl games, though. 12 appearances, 5-7 record. You know what I'm saying? So got to give a big shout out to him. You know what I'm saying? I know we was young. Any memories of him at all from y'all? Or just the stuff you see on TV?
Just the name.
Just the name.
Yeah.
Just the name, yeah.
When he the coach that ran out on the field.
Yeah, right.
No, he didn't run out on the field. He didn't tackle the guy. I think that was an Alabama player, but he choked one of his players on the field or something like that.
I thought he was the one who tackled the guy. You know what I'm saying?
That was a Bama dude that came off the bench and tackled somebody.
Oh, okay.
He said he had too much Bama in him. But
well, he threw a punch or something.
Yeah, he choked and punched the player.
Yeah, he threw a punch at somebody. Yeah, a Clemson player or something. I think it was a Clemson player.
Yeah. Ohio State fans, get in the comments and let us know what happened with it. I believe that's what happened.
A player that he punched or whatever. But also, shout out Archie Griffin, only 2-time Heisman winner. You can't leave him off. You don't, even though he won't be on this team. You know what I'm saying? Because he was pre-1980. But you got to shout him out. You know what I'm saying? Still the only 2-time Heisman winner. And for me, Jack Tatum, still got to shout him out as well. Ohio State, great. Big hitter, you know what I'm saying? So got to shout him out as well before we get into this team. But
get into it.
Without further ado, let's get into it, fellas. The coach for the Ohio State Buckeyes, greatest coach since 1980. I would do it.
I had to go with Jim Tressel, man. I had to go with Jim Tressel. I mean, it was close.
You know the question that's going to be asked: why him over your boy Urban?
Over Urban Meyer. To me, it was they had similar records. I think Jim lasted a little longer than Urban, but he had an 81% winning percentage. Urban was at 90, but I think he left the program with a little bit of a scandal. So they kind of put a little bit of a when you're talking about the great coaches, you got to have somebody that's a steward of the program. And even though Urban had success, won a natty in 2014, Jim Tressel had a natty in 2002. I think both of them won the Woody Hayes Trophy, but only one of them won the Paul Bear Bryant Award, and that was Jim Tressel.
Yeah, same for me. The vest, I went with the vest. The tenure, he's more synonymous with the squad. He kind of left unceremoniously too, but he was able to get that title on the way out, and that kind of overshadowed.
That's why he left out, because he wasn't able to win any more titles. He won his second year in the program. By 2010, they started piling up a couple of L's, and that's why he left. I think along with that whole Maurice Clarett situation.
Maurice Clarett, yeah.
Some of that was involved in it. But I think Urban had more of this more scandalous, salacious
for sure
thing that kind of drove it. And plus, he was more like a mercenary.
It was a precursor for things to come.
Precursor to things to come, for sure.
But overall, he had some. Both of them brought some big time players in there. More schematic wise to me, when I talk about Urban, it was more schematic. And I've mentioned this. To me, it just seems like Urban was at the cusp or at the forefront of when the game was starting to change and get out of that run mode and get more into that quick pass, east and west type play. So in my opinion, he was kind of lucky in that sense to kind of be ahead of the game in that and being
especially
a pioneer, so to speak.
Man, you took the words out of my mouth, G. Exactly.
Right.
Especially in
a conference that was so far behind in the way they played football.
Right. So to me, he was kind of, fate kind of set him up to be, prosperous during that time. But it's Jim Tressel. It's the vest for me. The vest and the glasses. That's what won it out for me.
No doubt. All right, JW, let's move on. QB, who the signal caller, baby? Who we got?
CJ Strizow. And we had conversation. In this era off the bat, we had conversation because we went away from the Heisman winner, and went with C.J. Stroud. C.J. Stroud, his stats were just way above. And
he was a two-time Heisman finalist.
Right. Even when you add, my name, the Heisman, Troy.
Smith.
Troy Smith, even when you add his running touchdowns to his passing touchdowns, you still had C.J. Stroud ahead of him. So it took some debate, but we went with C.J. Stroud.
Let us know in the comments if you agree. Definitely let us know in the comments if you agree with that selection of Stroud over Troy Smith.
As a passer, had to go with C.J. Stroud. Higher completion percentage, higher touchdowns, touchdown percentage to interception percentage was vastly way better than Troy Smith's ratio, 10-1 as opposed to 8 to almost 2. Troy Smith was good though. He was definitely he's definitely on an honorable mention.
Different kind of team, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I know for those who are gonna say, yeah, he played in a different kind of offense. We know. we're aware, you know what I'm saying?
I think the 69% passer completion rate is gonna better serve this particular team over Troy Smith. I think he was at 62% when you round it up. So yeah, C.J. Stroud is gonna be the better quarterback for this squad. No doubt.
It was almost at 70. I said 68. It was 69. That's my vision. Yeah. My blood pressure messing with my vision right now.
All right, running back. We went, of course, Eddie George.
Listen up, Ohio State fans. Listen up.
Oh, Lord.
J.K.
Listen to this bullshit.
Are your running backs Ohio State?
Yeah. Not my choice. I would never have J.K. Dobbins over Ezekiel Elliott.
4,459 rushing yards, 38 TDs, 2 1,000-yard seasons. That's all I got to say. Of course, you already know.
How many 1,000-yard seasons?
2.
All right. So
Eddie George, Heisman winner, 1995.
J.K. Dobbins had 2. Ezekiel Elliott had 2 1,800-yard rushing seasons.
How many overall yards did he have?
He had less, but he played less.
Same amount of years. Same amount of years.
But he had to split
same
time.
Amount of years.
He had to split time with Carlos Hyde as a freshman. He didn't get as many carries. So there's that.
Who had more yards?
Hey, who had the championship? Who had more impact?
Which one?
You can't tell me
who was on a better team. Who was on a better team?
You can't tell me. You can't tell me a play that you remember from J.K. Dobbins. You can't. He was good, but was he better than Ezekiel Elliott? Was he?
You don't remember no damn plays from Ezekiel Elliott at Ohio State.
Man, whatever, man. Him running through Oregon.
All you remember about Ezekiel Elliott with that damn cut off ass jersey. That's it.
Stop it. What it is, people, is these guys are 49er fans. You saw what he showed in his background, and you see what's on his wall. These are 49er fans. Let me tell you, the argument that they're using is that J.K. Dobbins had more rushing yards. But in the same breath, if you go back a few episodes when we went over Florida, they chose Fred fucking Taylor.
A few episodes. We're on number 4. Florida was 12. Florida was the first team we talked about. A few episodes.
What the fuck ever. Wow. Y'all had Fred Taylor, and the reason that you chose Fred Taylor was why?
Actually, we had Eric Rett as RB1 and Fred Taylor as RB2.
Right. Why?
Reason why is because we run an offense known as the Fun and Gun. Our Heisman Trophy quarterback is Danny Werfel. We are a throwing offense in this greatest team since 1980. And the 2 backs we chose are far more versatile, all-purpose wise, than Emmitt Smith, who was a great
perfectly explained.
He was a great Florida running back. Some people have him as the best. I don't have him as the best.
That by saying what?
That is why.
He had a total of 717 receiving yards. Emmitt Smith had 500.
Okay.
And let's see. Fred Taylor played 4 seasons in Florida. His total yards from scrimmage, rushing and receiving, was nowhere near. Was 800 yards less.
Ohio State Buckeyes. How the hell did we get back on
that's what I was about to say, Dante. So as I get us back to Ohio,
it's a bullshit.
As I get us back to Ohio,
listen, people.
The thing that put J.K. Dobbins over Ezekiel Elliott to me was this right here. 1,000 plus rushing yards in 3 seasons. One of only 3 players in Ohio State history to achieve this feat. The other 2, Griffin and Maurice Claret. So if he's in the same breath as Archie Griffin, the 2-time Heisman, give me him all day and miss me with Ezekiel Elliott and the halter top.
So again, this is 49er fans talking bullshit because we already looked at all the lists. We looked at all the Ohio State lists. We looked at all the other lists that had the ranked Ohio State running backs. J.K. Dobbins won it. I don't care about how many he had a total of 130 more rushing attempts, but only had 500 more yards. He played as a freshman. That's the reason why when Ezekiel Elliott had to split time with Carlos Hyde.
Y'all can let us know how you feel, Ohio State fans.
Who is in the top 10 of rushers?
Who's right, Ohio State fans? Let us know in the comments.
Go
trash talking with the old head.
We know what you're gonna pick. We know who you're gonna pick. It's Ezekiel Elliott.
I want to give a shout out to the only Ohio State fan that I know of, Goat the Barber, local barber here in Birmingham, that I kind of grew up with on the basketball courts. He's a diehard Ohio State fan. He loves talking about, I need to hear from you. I need you to tell me which of the running backs you would prefer on this team.
Did we get it right or did we get it wrong?
Wrong.
Moving on to the wide receivers.
He didn't win a national title.
Moving on to the wide receivers, G. What you got?
I ain't moving on. Ezekiel Elliott was the national. He was the MVP of the championship.
Somebody gotta lose.
Right.
Right. Wide receiver Chris Carter, Marvin Harrison Jr., and David Boston.
Now that's an excellent list. Okay, can't really.
A lot of discussion here. We're still up in the air on who we think is the best out of this group. I want to repeat my question for this group, because for me, I remember David. I really remember how well David Boston played, how physical he played. I kind of slept on Marvin Harrison because we all know Chris Carter and his effect on the game. But David Boston for me is the guy that I remember out of this particular group. But what's the first thing you think about when you hear David Boston's name?
Steroids.
Them roids. That's the first thing I think about too.
I ain't gonna disrespect y'all like that, Ohio State fans. David Boston was a monster. He was one of the first ones that I remember with them big ass biceps catching them passes on them sides.
How far did the steroids go back? How far back did the steroids go?
That man pumping iron.
He certainly looked different back at Ohio.
We can't disrespect them with that man reality. My God,
right.
That's his reality.
Stay number 4 wide receiver all time, man. Don't disrespect that man legacy. Talking about steroids.
He on the list.
But yeah, Marvin Harrison Jr. was definitely a animal when he was at Ohio State. He's probably, but hey, we can't. Hey, listen, we gotta give shout out to the other wide receivers that didn't make our list.
Yeah.
Chris Olave, Joey Galloway, Michael Jenkins, and then this new guy coming up. This new boy, Jeremiah. Hey, he might be number 1 when he get through. And then also Jackson Smith and Jigba. I think he got injured in one of those seasons, but he was well headed on his way to be one of their top receivers all time. But yeah, this was a deep group.
Yeah, they definitely had a lot of those to choose from. Ain't no doubt about it.
They'll definitely have to make up for the unproduction that they're gonna get with J.K. Dobbins. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, almost 4,500 yard worth of production. Okay, and consistent. Did it 3 years. Not one.
Couldn't win him a natty though.
Olave had the most numbers. Olave had the greater numbers out there. He really did. He definitely had the greater numbers.
But he had the most touchdowns. He had the most.
Olave had the most yards, most receiving yards.
No, he didn't.
Who had number 1?
Mecca. Mecca 1. Michael Jenkins 2. Chris Olave was 3rd.
Oh, okay. I thought Olave was number 1.
He had
Hey,
most
so,
touchdowns.
man, let us know on this one. Did we get this one right? Because, hey, I'll even open it up. We could be wrong here. You know what I'm saying? What do y'all think about
You
this?
definitely wrong on the running backs. That's for damn sure.
I'm about wide receiver. I'm off the running back.
Joey Galloway
Chris
was
Carter,
tough.
David Boston, Marvin Harrison Jr. Did we get it right? As y'all wide receiver. Did we get it right for y'all all-time team since 1980? Do we have the right 3 wide receivers? Let us know in the comments.
Definitely don't have the right 2 running backs. That's for damn sure.
Tight end.
Tight end, we went with John Frank. You know, we didn't have a whole lot of discussion on this guy. Career touchdowns, 9, third all-time among tight ends at Ohio State. His career receiving yards is at 1,481, which was an Ohio State record for a tight end. Mr. John Frank. Career receptions, 121. Other bona fides, he was a team MVP in 83. He was a 3-year starter and all Big Ten 2 times in 82 and 83. Again, Mr. John Frank at tight end.
All right. All right, let's go to the tackle spots. The O-line time, the big boys up front.
All right, so we went with a bunch of Outland Trophy, Remington Trophy winners.
They got a very nice group. They got a nice group up front.
We're going to start with the best one out of all of them, Mr. Pancake himself, Orlando Pace.
Mr. Clean Pocket.
It's rare. It's rare that you remember an old lineman from a team that you don't root for. Right. Damn, I remember Orlando Pace.
Right.
At Ohio State. You know what I'm saying? He made you, he was one of those ones where you're like, well, damn, you could see, man, that damn boy is good. You know what I'm saying? You could see it when you watch them play. You know what I'm saying?
A Heisman finalist at that position. He was a Heisman finalist. Definitely a number 1 pick. Like you remember his impact, and then when you go over his accolades, it just reminds you first of just how big the dude was. I remember they did, they had several shows or clips where they talked about his size and showed his hand size versus a shoe or something like that. They did that type of stuff all the time when he played in college. Then, of course, when he went on to the pros, he got a Marine, Mr. Clean Pocket, big old dude. Yeah, this line is impressive.
Right.
Then we got Corey Stringer. Rest in peace. We got Wyatt Davis at guard. We got Pat Elfline at guard. We got Mr. Remington Trophy winner LaCharles Bentley at center. So that's Orlando Pace and Corey Stringer manning the offensive tackle positions, the interior of the line, Wyatt Davis and Pat Elfline, and LaCharles Bentley at center.
Hell of a group.
Very, very impressive, very versatile. When you talk about Bentley and Elfline, known to be very versatile and play all the spots on the line, this is impressive.
Ohio State had a couple of Remington Trophy winners. After Pat Elfline, they had Billy Price in 2017 won it, and then last year, Seth McLaughlin, Mr. Fumble the Snap from Alabama. He won it last year. Snap fumbler.
Big time group. We were talking about how good Michigan's line was.
Right.
And also, was it Oklahoma? They had a decent line.
Nebraska.
Yeah, but this group is probably right there with those guys, neck and neck. It's going to be interesting to see how all this pans out when we start going through the position groups.
Right.
A lot of meat on the bone.
All right. Do we want to do the returner now? We're going
to go ahead and hit that returner.
Y'all know who it is. Ohio State fans. You already know who it is. Mr. Ted Ginn Jr. Mr. Electric. I remember him I remember watching them play too. He one of them ones from Ohio State too, where when they were on, you watched if Ted Ginn was gonna get the ball. You know what I'm saying? You watched, you know what I'm saying? Even if you didn't like it, you still watch.
There's fast and then there's getting fast.
Right.
Yeah.
As a specialist, he pretty much turned into a pretty good player in the NFL.
Yeah, so
he didn't leave. Pretty good season at receiver.
He didn't lead the Buckeyes as far as all time as punt and kick returns. Yards, that's because wasn't nobody trying to kick to him because they
Right.
knew if they did, it was getting housed
Yeah.
a lot of the times. He had a total of 6 punt returns and 2 kick returns.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
big.
dude was definitely memorable. In fact, when we got here, that was that's one of those players you just write in. When you get to a specific group, sometime that first player just clicks, and it's definitely him. Like you said, G, although he didn't have the highest amount of yards at that position, he was definitely the best and had the most impact, in my opinion.
Know how impactful it was. He turned it into, even though we don't consider the pros in this whole thing, but he turned it into 14 years in the NFL. Never as a top flight wide receiver, but was so dangerous on the kick returns.
Yeah.
Made a 14-year career out of it. So yeah, most definitely.
Yeah, he wasn't able to make that like your boy Jackson from the Eagles, who was able to
Right.
go from the kick return and punt return guy to being a top flight receiver. He never made that particular crossover, but he, like you said, he made a decent career out of his speed.
Oh yeah, had a bunch of 700-yard seasons, that kind of deal as a receiver, third kind of receiver. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah. But
return,
that don't have no effect on what they did in
no
college.
effect on this. That
Why
was
we
just
talking about?
something that I was pointing
Right.
out. No effect on this. We don't consider pro careers and what we're doing, just the college career. So
Right.
moving on to the defensive line.
Hold on, we got to go through the rundown. Go back over the roster.
Run
So
it
we can
down.
have this, the nice printout on the screen. So y'all pay
Run
attention.
it down.
With our head coach, we got Mr. Vest, Jim Tressel, sweater vest himself, the head coach. Quarterback CJ Stroud, running back Eddie George, running back Ezekiel Elliott, wide receiver
J.K. Dobbins. J.K. Dobbins is RB2.
Chris Carter, wide receiver Marvin Harrison Jr., wide receiver David Boston, tight end John Frank, offensive tackles Orlando Pace and Corey Stringer, guards Wyatt Davis and Pat Elflein, center LaCharles Bentley, and the kick returner Ted Ginn Jr.
Yes, sir.
You see it, fellas. Which of these position groups is the strongest?
So far,
for me, it's either receivers or the O-line. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Front, man, that's I believe football games are won up front. You know what I'm saying? So when you got an offensive line like that, I'm always say that's the strength. You know what I'm saying? So I'll go with the O-line, man. For me,
I'm gonna pit it between the running back room and the O-line room, and then
running back room definitely took a hit.
I'm gonna take it a step further, and I'm gonna say if it is between the Heisman Trophy winning running back and his backup, basically, and the O-line, which holds Orlando Pace, then that decision to me would come down between who's the better player between Orlando Pace and Eddie George. And if I'm picking, I'm probably going with Eddie George out of that group. That's tough though. That's tough because Orlando Pace is the truth.
Hall of Fame Orlando Pace, Eddie George is better. What? How you figure?
I'm just going off.
Just off college.
Going off what I saw. Just going off with college. Going off with college, Eddie George was that dude. But Orlando was that dude too.
Right.
Mr. Clean Pocket. Mr. Clean Pocket. The group is the O-line. The group is the O-line.
Yeah.
It's the O-line.
As a group, it's the O-line. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's the O-line.
G, would you agree?
I'm gonna have to go with the wide receivers.
I can
I'm gonna have
see
to
it.
go with the wide receivers. You got a bunch of handsy wide receivers. They ain't dropping one pass.
Right.
You got a receiver
I like that
can big. You got 2 receivers that can big body you, and you got 1 receiver who can catch anything that's thrown up. In Chris Carter, all he do is catch touchdowns. So Yeah, Chris Carter, we forgot to mention, didn't have quite the numbers that some of these other receivers had, but he played in an era where throwing the rock wasn't it. But he did lead as the all-time. He had most of the all-time leading receiving records when he left Ohio State. But yeah, this wide receiver group is the strongest.
Yeah, it's definitely strong. It's strong. Ain't no doubt about that. I wouldn't argue with you over it. It's definitely a strong group. You know what I'm saying? But let's keep it moving, fellas. Defensive end. What you got, JW?
Okay, defensive end. We went with Mike Vrabel and Chase Young at defensive end. Mike Vrabel is all world, and Chase Young is all sacks. 30, yeah. 31 plus sacks, or 30 and a half sacks, however you want to call it. A beast at getting to the QB. With Mike Vrabel had 3 seasons in a row where he was just dominant off that edge. So yeah, Vrabel and Chase Young at defensive end.
Honorable mentions to Will Smith and Joey Bosa. You know what I'm saying? Honorable mentions. We did discuss them for you Ohio State fans. Yeah, you can let us know if you think either one of them should have been on the team as well, but we did discuss them. So let us know what you think in the comments. You know what I'm saying? Should either one of them have been on the team, Will Smith or Joey Bosa, over Vrabel and Chase Young? But we went with Vrabel and Young. So let's go DT. G, I think we were consensus on this one.
Yeah, very, very. Hey, this was off the bat. It wasn't even a question. Dan Wilkinson, Big Daddy Dan, and Cameron Hayward.
Yeah, most definitely. We were all in agreement on those two. You know what I'm saying? It was pretty solid, pretty easy to pick those two as far as defensive tackle since 1980. Ohio State fans, since 1980. It's pretty easy for us to pick. If you feel we left somebody off, hey, let us know. We don't mind. Like I say, we're fans just like you. Let us know in the comments if you think we left somebody off as far as defensive tackles. But we thought as far as Ohio State, it was a pretty easy decision when it came to defensive tackles. Not even too much discussion around those two. Linebackers. Now, that was a different story. JW, run it down for him. That was a different story.
Well, we settled on Chris Spielman, Andy Katzenbauer, and James Laurinaitis. We got held up quite a bit in this area. They got some good some good linebackers. Let's just face it. They got some good linebackers. We're not looking at a whole lot of speed in this group. I would say that the cat we left off from this group, and the cat that gave us the most discussion, was AJ Hawk. And he might have been the fastest out of this group. Y'all can back me up on that or not back me up on that. But I think he would have been the fastest in this group. And he was worthy. He was definitely worthy. But we went with these guys. Everybody can remember Big Cat, with the neck roll as tall as his helmet. Very impressive career. But we kept going back and forth, and we kept going over Mr. James Laurinaitis. Man, you talk about 3-time consistent All-American. He got the Bronco Award. He got the Buckers Award. He got the Lott Trophy. He was the Lott Trophy winner. All that's in 3 consecutive seasons. He was Big Ten Defensive Player of the Year, back-to-back seasons in 07 and 08. Also, first team All Big Ten, 3 consecutive years from 06 to 08. And then when you get to his other mentionables, you're looking at 370 plus tackles, 13 sacks, and 9 interceptions, all over the field. So we stuck with him, but it was real close. We came to think our last word as far as leaving AJ Hawk off and pitting him against James. It was that James had one more award or one more year than AJ Hawk had as far as his greatness-wise with the team. So it was close. It was real close. Let us know what you think in that group.
It's crazy because Laurinaitis' baby Animal, the son of the great road warrior Animal, lost out to Hawk last name is Hawk, AJ Hawk, who
Right.
is it was Animal and Hawk as the Road Warriors. And for those who know old school wrestling, oh, what a rush! The Legion of Doom, baby.
Yeah, definitely one of the groups. Definitely one of them groups.
Let's move on to the secondary, fellas. Y'all want to start cornerback?
Yeah.
Start there. I think it was quick with this one too.
Yeah, it was.
Very easy. I think everybody had the same names. It wasn't even
same 3 at corner.
Now, again, shout out to Jeff Okuda. Hold on, before we do that, let's give a shout out to Ryan Shazier, who
yeah.
He was a great run. He was a great linebacker too. He had a total of 40 and a half tackles for loss.
That's a guy they could use in this as far as a speed guy. He would be the guy. AJ Hawk too. I said his speed. I said AJ Hawk would have been the fastest in that group, but that dude would have been. Yeah. They could use him.
There was the second defensive roster that we had with an all white boy linebacking core. Now this one, unlike Ohio's, if we had AJ Hawk, would have probably had the speed. James Laurinaitis wasn't slow, but he wasn't as fast as AJ Hawk or Ryan Shazier. But again, leave a comment if you got it wrong, right or wrong. Cornerbacks, easy peasy. Antoine Winfield, Malcolm Jenkins, and Mr. Sean Springs.
Indeed. That's solid. I mean, that's real solid as far as college cornerbacks, and then
all three
definitely do worse than that. You know what I'm saying?
All three are synonymous with being that deal at their position. All three of them, like you said, we had no discussions on adding anybody at all. And then out of that group, when we asked the question of who's the
finalist, you know what I'm saying? So,
yeah, you got Antoine Winfield, who, my God, he had a laundry list of accolades and accomplishments as the best one out of this group, for sure.
I'd again mention Jeff Okuda and Chris Gamble, though.
Yeah, no doubt. Antoine Winfield used to meet the ball, though. You know, he didn't mind getting his nose dirty, getting his face in there. That's for sure, Paul.
Probably the smallest out the bunch. He wasn't a big cornerback, but he definitely played with the most heart.
Yeah.
Son, the same way. Go ahead. Safeties, though.
We went with Malik Hooker and Mike Doss.
Yes, sir. Doss, 3-time All-American. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Jack Tatum Award in 2002. And a finalist for the Thorpe Award also.
Yeah, they got one of the top-notch secondaries we've done so far in the teams that we've done. They right
up LSU. Yeah, they right up there with LSU.
Right up there in secondary. No doubt. It's a nice team, honestly. It's a good team. You know what I'm saying?
That's impressive. That's impressive.
The kicker. You got to do the kicker.
Yes, we do. Mr. Nugent. Isn't that who we went with? Nugent.
Yeah.
That is who we went with.
Yeah.
Michael Nugent.
Yeah, this man got it all covered, too, from a kicking aspect. Got a Grazo Award, unanimous All-American, consistent All-American. 02, Groza, I'm sorry. 02 and 04. I asked that at the beginning, too, and still got it wrong. First team All Big Ten in 2002 and 2004. So he lines up with being the best kicker in their school's history. Mike,
and he got a push for being the Heisman Trophy finalist. Well, not a finalist, but he was on the list for Heisman Trophy. They was pushed. You know how they make their pushes, but he was just that consistent and just that automatic. But guess who the Lou Groza who Lou Groza played for? Ohio State.
Wow, another one of those, huh?
He played as a freshman at Ohio State and then went into the Army.
Okay, so we got Remington at Nebraska and Groza at Ohio State. Boy, you learn something every week, boy.
I try to put y'all on some knowledge every now and then, man. You know, I try to do my best to educate you young whippersnappers.
I'm tasked
with having a podcast with. I've only you could go back and watch the impact that Ezekiel Elliott had over J.K. freaking Dobbins. J.K. Dobbins, that sounds like something like he wrote Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire or some shit.
And J.K. Dobbins.
Sound like he wrote a children's novel on wizardry.
He had the most yards while he was writing. He had the most yards while he was writing. No, that's for sure.
All right, that's your cowboy love coming into play.
Ain't no cowboy love, man. We talking about consistency, man. This man was an impactful player, dog.
Consistency is exactly what we're talking about.
Yeah,
you're exactly right.
Listen, he had one good season, and that was his last year. And that's because he was pretty much the only ball carrier.
How many years did he wear a halter top in college? So you'll know that. You can't answer that shit. See what I'm saying?
I don't care nothing about that. I don't care nothing about that.
He did.
He was a beast of a running back.
I'll never forget that, dude. Shoot, dude. Well, didn't he wear a halter top at the draft too? That's ridiculous. Anyway,
how many years did Dennis Rodman wear a wedding dress at a press conference?
How many times?
How many lipsticks did he? I can say, how many championships did J.K. Dobbins win? We ain't talking about novels that he wrote for kids who were magicians. We're talking about college championships. How many did he win?
So
a running back. He is not a quarterback. He's not.
Let's go back through this defensive roster, shall we?
That's exactly
we got at the defensive line. We got Mike Vrabel and Chase Young holding down the edges, and the defensive tackle we got Big Daddy Dan Wilkinson, and Cameron Hayward, Ironhead Cameron Hayward. And that is that Ironhead or was that his son?
Nah, he Ironhead.
Is Ironhead okay? Then we got the linebackers, Chris Spielman and Andy Katzenmoyer, Big Cat, and Mr. James Baby Animal Laurinaitis. At cornerbacks, we got Antoine Winfield, Malcolm Jenkins, and Sean Springs. And the safeties, we got Malik Hooker. At the strong, at the free, we got Mike Doss. And then at kicker, we got Mike Automatic Nugent. Not to be confused with Nuggets.
It is.
Ironhead Haywood was the father.
Right.
He played running back.
That was his son. That's what I was saying. He was the son of Ironhead.
He's the son of Ironhead. Right.
But,
nice squad.
Which one of these? What's the best position? It's a strong team. I'm gonna say this. I don't think they have a weakness. They are equally strong on all three levels.
You think Ohio State is strong on all three levels?
All three levels.
I think if you scheme it up right, the linebackers can be had, but they solid though. They're solid. They're solid at every level. You know what I'm saying? If you got the right kind of backs, you can get a running backs problem. I mean, they linebackers problems with the right kind of back.
I really will say that I can't see an area that they can't attack. And then if I'm looking at a team playing against them, and while I'm thinking about that, who would be their possible first game matchup?
Well, see, they would
get in the tournament.
They would get the highest ranked, so it's hard to say. They would get the highest ranked,
highest remaining
out of that first round.
Right, highest remaining seed out of the first round.
So if I'm looking at Oklahoma through Florida, I'm thinking the highest ranked seed is probably going to be USC.
Yeah, it just depends on how the voting goes.
I would say USC would be the highest ranked. So let's remind the team, and I'll remind everybody where each teams are ranked and who will play who. So we got number 12, Florida would be matched up against number 6, Oklahoma in the first round. Then we have number 11, LSU matched up against number 6 in USC.
Number 5, Oklahoma. Oklahoma is 5th.
That's what I said. I said 6.
You said 6.
Okay, yeah. 5, Oklahoma, Florida. Then we have number 6, USC against number 11, LSU. We got number 7, Michigan against number 10, Clemson. We got number 8, Nebraska. I done did it wrong again.
I'm trying to do it. Number 9.
That's right.
Yes, number
9. Nebraska and Georgia would be the
right
9
8-9 matchup. Yeah.
All right, should be an interesting first round, no doubt.
Oh
But
no, USC LSU that first round. Ooh,
whew, that's gonna be a good one, bro. That's gonna be a
that's
good
a
one.
matchup right there. That
It
is a
for sure.
matchup.
It is. But hey, let's wrap this thing up, fellas. There you have the number 4 Ohio State Buckeyes.
Impressive.
Last words, brothers, before we get up out of here about the Buckeyes.
Very impressive. Not a lot of weak areas. I think the best decision we made for this team was CJ Stroud at quarterback, though. I think Troy Smith would limit you to being more of a run team, although that's possible when you got Eddie George and J.K. Dobbins in the backfield. But I think CJ Stroud gives you the ability to play both styles of play, the run game,
Yeah,
as well as the passing
makes those
game.
wide receivers relevant.
Yeah. You talk about a mean play action with this far here, buddy.
Yeah,
mean play action.
I agree. But if you don't have nothing else, man, thank y'all for tuning in. Trash talking with the old heads. Not forget to hit that like button. YouTube.
Don't forget.
Do not forget to hit it. And for those that already have, thank you for your support. We appreciate it. It definitely helps us keep bringing this content. Hey, till next time, from the old heads, we are out.
Leave them comments, because J.K. Dobbins don't belong on this list, dog. Come on now. Stop playing with me.